I'm 61 years old. I'm a stage 3 cancer survivor, and I live with ankylosing spondylitis, amongst other things. And yet, I'm an entrepreneur. I've managed many government and private sector projects over the years. Today, I'm showing you how I reclaimed my life with cannabis when traditional medicine failed. So come on, let's go. I've spent many years managing projects in government and private sector, and yet my hardest project was surviving or going through stage 3 breast cancer. Living with ankylosing spondylitis isn't a light accomplishment either. When traditional medicine failed, it was cannabis that helped me reclaim my life. But I didn't just stop there. I didn't stop at my personal use. I went back to school and I received my education and certifications in medicinal cannabis and CBD for animals. Now I'm using that formal education and experience to help you navigate this journey with the same clarity and authority that I used in my professional career. I know the look on the face of a person when they're considering cannabis for the first time. It's a mix of desperation and complete fear. For my generation, we grew up with the era of just say no to drugs. But I have a confession to make. I've been using this plant for over 40 years, but I've seen both sides of it. From the shadows of the 80s to the legal times of today. I know the judgment because I've lived it, but I also know the truth about this plant because I've stayed the course for more than 4 decades. Now, this is where the stigma hits the wall of science. When I was developing programs, managing projects, or building buildings, I was relying on data. I eventually took my 40 years of street-level experience and I backed it up with educational data. I earned my certifications and found out just how our endocannabinoid system works. It isn't about getting stoned, like in the old stereotypes. It's about precision healing. Once you understand the chemistry, the stigma evaporates. I know what it's like when traditional options fail. I live with the fire of neuropathy. I know that relentless burning that makes it feel like your sheets are sandpaper. I know that bone-deep exhaustion of cancer recovery. And I also know a lifetime of stiffness and pain from ankylosing spondylitis. For years, I used this plant to keep my body going when it wanted to shut down. And when you're in that much pain, a stigma of a plant shouldn't be standing between you and your quality of life. I also learned along the way that it was benefiting me psychologically as well. There are a litany of medications out there, one pill for the problem and another pill for the after effects from the first pill. We've been taught to manage our decline. After 40 years of personal use and now professional study, I'm here to tell you that we can manage our thrive. We can manage growing older. We are moving past reefer madness and into informed advocacy. You've spent a lifetime working and caring for others. It's time to use my years of trial and error to fast track your own relief and advocate for yourself. Before I turned my focus onto cannabis education, part of my portfolio was major construction. My world was built on blueprints, structural integrity, and managing complex problems with precision. When my health began to fail, I applied that exact same project management mindset to my own health. I didn't just want a Band-Aid. I wanted to engineer a solution. I looked at my neuropathy and my ankylosing like a structural flaw that needed a high-performance fix. This wasn't an overnight success. As some of you may already know, I love learning, and I love doing what I'm interested in. In my early 20s, I was an esthetician. With that previous knowledge, and for the last 10 years, I've been on a deep dive research and development journey. I took my 40 years of plant knowledge and professional management experience and put it to work in the kitchen. I experimented with ratios, carrier oils, and botanical infusions. I treated it like a long-term site project, testing, refining, and building until the structure was perfect. I wasn't looking for a business. I was looking for my mobility and my better quality of life. Through this time of trial and error, I developed a formula that changed everything. I remember when it clicked, when the relief and a good night's sleep meant a quality lotion that felt good on my skin and didn't wreck my clothing after. Then during chemotherapy and after, the fire of your nerve endings, when they finally went quiet, when I could then sleep, this formula allowed me to do something that I thought I was losing forever. It allowed me to walk comfortably again. It allowed me to sleep through the night. It wasn't about a high. It was about giving some integrity back to my joints and giving a relief to my nervous system. By the time my courses were finished, it had finally explained to me what my 40 years of use and the 10 years of trial and error making a lotion had already taught me. I had engineered a way to deliver relief right where the structural damage was. I didn't just survive cancer and ankylosing spondylitis. I managed my way back to a healthy life worth living. After years of managing programs for others and fighting my own health battles, I've reached this realization. I'm not done managing projects, but my new project is us. Our generation has been left out of the cannabis conversation for too long. Or worse, we've been given misinformation. We've lived a life of healthcare monopolized by pharmaceuticals. I'm taking my 40 years of experience, my construction grade attention to detail, and my certifications, and I'm taking them on the road. My mission now is to travel and learn. I want to go directly to the source, to the retailers, to the growers, to the scientists, to the innovators who are pushing the boundaries of this plant and what it can do for our bodies, our aging bodies. I'm looking for the blueprints of longevity. Whether it's new delivery methods for pain or breakthrough CBD research for animals, I'm committing myself to being your boots on the ground researcher. I'm going to find the best information so you don't have to guess. I'm doing this because I know for people like us, those who are living with or survived cancer, those living with autoimmune diseases, those of us living with mental health issues, information is autonomy. Information is power. When you have the right facts, you have the power to make the right choices where traditional medicine may not even know the information yet. I'm bringing back the science and the real world results so the 50+ community can reclaim their lives just like I did. I've survived cancer 4 times so far. And I've backed my experience with education, and I've engineered my own relief. Now I'm inviting you to follow along as I scout the future of wellness. I've spent 40 years building things for myself and others. It's time to share that experience so we can build a future where we can move, heal, and thrive together. Spending the years with this plant, dedicating my time to my own health, my own survival, managing me as a complex project. I want to help you manage your next chapter. But I know often the hardest part is where to start. Or how do I talk to my doctor or my family or friends about it? That's why I've put together a free Senior's Guide to Cannabis Conversations. It's designed to give you some confidence and a vocabulary to help you with that conversation and give you some questions to remove the stigma. Click the link below to download your copy. And while you're down there, be sure to subscribe. I'm taking this journey on the road, and I'm bringing you with me to find the best wellness solutions that the world has to offer. I'm 61. I'm growing and feeling healthier in my life, and I'm just getting started. So let's do this together.